as we talk about the presence of sin, all right, we want to talk about Satan's intention now. When we talk about sin, there is also this evil that exists. The Satan's intention through inflicting sufferings. Inflict sufferings. What is his intention? You remove everything that he has, and then he will curse you. All right? He wants Job to curse God. He wants Job. Why do you think so? What does cursing God mean? No. Two reasons, okay? Two reasons. First, Satan wants to prove that Job did not have a genuine relationship with God at all. He wants to prove that Job is not revering God for who he is. Job is only revering God for what God has given him. All right? Job did not love God at all. He seems to love you, God, but because of all the prosperity, successes, good health that God you have given him. And so on that side note, I would want to say that what makes prosperity gospel very dangerous. Why? Because with that kind of teaching, people do not know whether they are coming to the giver or the gifts. They are coming to the healer or the healings, you see. So that is one thing. I said again, the first thing, why do you want to curse God? You want to prove to God, and God, Job don't really love you after all. Okay? He's after you for the things you've given him. No relationship with you at all. That's the first thing he wants to show God. Okay? And the second thing, listen up. The second, why do you want Job to curse God? Because Satan wants to put in Job a total sense of abandonment. Because as he cursed God, and the moment he cursed God, he will know he himself has nothing to do with God anymore. Now, it is not so much about God. You understand? If God has loved him, or if God has loved you, he will love you forever, no matter what. Even if you get angry with him, you swear at him, or you curse at him because of desperation. It's okay. You see, to God, he's not going to change just because you get angry or you curse him, right? But for that person who does that, once you start cursing God, and you yourself will affirm in you that I have nothing to do with God anymore. I'm on my own. I'm going my own way. So then you'll be food for Satan. Because you have affirmed your abandonment. You get what I'm trying to say? You get what I'm saying? So it's more of telling God that this guy has no relationship with you. And second, when I make him curse you, he will be so accused, he will feel so condemned, and that he will affirm himself of that abandonment. And he will be food for the enemy after that. He will believe that God has nothing to do with him anymore. And then he will be at the mercy of the enemy. You get what I'm trying to say? So, over here, if you turn to Job again, you will see that now, what happened was, chapter 3, okay, if you turn to Job chapter 3, after this, Job opened his mouth and cursed what? The day of his birth. He said, may the day of my birth perish, and the night it was said a boy is born. Curse the day of his birth. Now, you see, Job may not have cursed God directly, but he was brought to the point where he could find no reasoning for his trial and sufferings. And instead of cursing God, he just cursed the day of his birth. Because his pain was so relentless, his misery was so great, and he saw, God, if you're going to bring me to this earth, why? If this is what I'm going to suffer, why bring me here? So I cursed the day of my birth. It will be better if I'm dead on the day of my birth. So he is basically portraying an intense and emotional protest against God. Okay, you get what I mean? So it shows this is humanity, okay? It only speaks of our limitation, our weaknesses, the weaknesses of our strength and will. But as I read through this, I thought, this is the road to knowing grace all over again in our lives. Now, don't think that God doesn't know that what He is doing in our lives. But there may be self-righteousness, self-centeredness, or self-consideration that is stopping us from embracing the grace of God fully. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay? A lot of times, that's self in us. So I think God is doing a beautiful thing in Job. He knows what He's doing. He's sending a message to him. He's telling him something that he doesn't know in his life at all. Even all this while when he lived uprightly and righteously.